My name is Peggy Vanis. I'm 29 years old. When I collapsed at work with my heart failing, the hospital called my parents. They never came. Instead, my sister tagged me in a photo. Family day without the drama. I said nothing. Days later, still weak and hooked to machines, I saw 74 missed calls. A text from Dad. "We need you. Answer immediately." They hadn't asked if I was alive. They needed money. $8,500 for my sister's wedding venue deposit. I'd given them $267,000 over 7 years, sent $2,500 every single month while working myself into cardiac arrest. They didn't know that while they were calling, someone else was watching. Someone who'd been silenced for years but had finally seen enough. And what happened next at my sister's engagement party would shatter every lie they'd built. This is that story. But to understand how it got this far, you need to know where it started. It was 2014. I was 17. My sister Natalie was 21. She had a breakdown. A real one. Severe anxiety attack that landed her in Abbott Northwestern Hospital for 2 weeks. Room 447, psychiatric ward. My parents were terrified. I remember my mother on the phone with the doctor, voice shaking. "Whatever she needs," she said. "Whatever it takes. She's our baby." $18,000 later. Insurance covered some, not all. Natalie came home. Fragile. Medicated. And from that moment on, the house revolved around her recovery. I was taking the SAT that month. My birthday fell during Natalie's second week in the hospital. No one remembered. No cake. No card. When I mentioned it later, my mother looked confused. "Oh, honey, we were at the hospital. You understand?" I did understand. I was supposed to understand everything. That was the year I learned my role. Be strong for your sister. After Natalie came home, the rules changed. Don't stress Natalie. Don't ask her to do chores. Don't mention college applications around her. It might trigger something. My father pulled me aside one night. "Peggy, you're the strong one. Natalie needs us right now. You understand, don't you?" I nodded. What else was I supposed to do? So I did the dishes. I did the laundry. I filled out my college applications alone at the kitchen table at midnight because Natalie needed the living room quiet during the day. Natalie got private therapy twice a week. $200 per session, $1,600 a month. Meanwhile, I got a part-time job at Target to help pay for my own college prep books. I started noticing things. Small things. Natalie would claim she was too anxious to help with dinner, but she'd go to the mall with friends that same afternoon. She'd say she couldn't handle family gatherings, but her Instagram showed her at parties. I didn't say anything. I was 17. What did I know about mental health? I told myself she was healing in her own way. I got into the University of Minnesota on a partial scholarship. Nursing program. I took out loans for the rest. Every Thanksgiving, every winter break, every summer, I came home. And every time my mother greeted me the same way. "Thank God you're home. Natalie had a rough week. She needs you." Not, "How are your classes?" Not, "How are you?" Just, "Natalie needs you." I started sending money home my sophomore year, $300 a month. My mother said it was for Natalie's therapy. The costs kept going up, she said. I worked 20 hours a week at Target while taking 18 credit hours. I lived on ramen and vending machine snacks. Natalie was 25 by the time I graduated. Still living at home, still not working, still in recovery. I graduated nursing school in May of 2019. My parents didn't come to the ceremony. "Natalie had a panic attack this morning," my mother explained over the phone. "We can't leave her alone. You understand?" I did. I always understood. I walked across that stage alone and told myself it didn't matter. June 2019. I was 22 years old. I got hired as a registered nurse at Lakeside Pediatric Clinic in Minneapolis. Nonprofit. We served low-income families. The work was hard, but I loved it. My first paycheck, $3,600 after taxes. I called my mother excited. Mom, I got the job. I start Monday. That's nice, honey. Listen, can you send some money this month? Natalie's therapist raised her rates. I did the math in my head. Rent was $1,200. Student loans were $450. If I sent $1,200 home, I'd have about $750 left for gas, groceries, everything else. I can send $1,200, I said. Can you make it 15? Natalie really needs this. I ate instant noodles for dinner that month. And the next. And the next. By the end of the year, I was sending $1,500 a month like clockwork. My mother never said thank you. It was just expected. I told myself it was temporary, that once Natalie got better, things would balance out. But better never came, because she didn't need to get better. She just needed me to keep paying. For the first 2 years, I sent $1,200, then $1,500 a month, every month, like clockwork. My parents never asked how I was doing. They never asked if I could afford it. They just expected it. In November of 2019, my mother sent an email. Subject line, therapy costs. Body, Peggy, therapy costs went up again. Can you do $1,500 starting next month? Natalie really needs this. You know how fragile she is. I clicked reply. Typed. Okay. Sent it. Natalie was 26, 27, still at home, still claiming disability benefits that barely covered anything. I worked 50-hour weeks, came home to my tiny one-bedroom apartment, meal prepped chicken and rice on Sundays because I couldn't afford to eat out. I didn't date. I didn't travel. I didn't do anything except work and send money. Then COVID hit, and everything got worse. March 2020, the pediatric clinic became a war zone. Families couldn't afford care. Kids were getting sicker. We were drowning in patients and desperately short-staffed. I started working 60, 70 hours a week. Overtime pay kicked in. My salary jumped to $65,000 a year. My mother found out. Since you're making more now, she said on the phone, casual, like she was asking me to pass the salt. Can you bump it up? Natalie's struggling with the pandemic. She needs extra therapy sessions. May 2020. I sent $2,500. July, $2,200. My mother claimed the refrigerator broke. December, $3,000. Natalie needed a new laptop for online therapy resources. Total for 2020, $25,200. Meanwhile, I checked Natalie's Instagram. August 2020. A post from home. Caption: Staycation vibes. The photo showed her surrounded by luxury candles, face masks that cost $80 each, a spa setup at home. I stared at that post for a long time. Then I closed the app and went back to work. I told myself she deserved self-care. March 2021. My mother called. Natalie needs a car. She can't keep taking Uber to therapy. It's $30 each session. You do the math, Peggy. I was already sending $1,800 a month. Mom, This is for her health. I wired $6,500 for a down payment on a used Honda Civic. Then I agreed to cover her car insurance for 4 years. $3,200 a year. $12,800 total over 4 years. Total car expense, $19,300. September 2021, I drove past my parents' house. Surprise visit. I wanted to see them. Natalie's car was parked at the mall. Not at therapy. At the mall. I sat in my car in that parking lot for 20 minutes, hands shaking on the steering wheel. Then I drove home. I didn't say anything. Because what could I say? January 2022. I made a decision. I'd become a nurse practitioner. Better pay, better hours. Maybe then I could finally breathe. I applied to a part-time NP program. 2 years. 38,000 in tuition. I texted my mother. Mom, I'm starting grad school. I might need to reduce what I send for a bit. Her reply came in under a minute. Peggy, we're proud of you, but Natalie's therapy can't stop. Can you take out a loan? So I did. I took out 45,000 in student loans to pay for school and to keep sending money home. I worked full-time as an RN, went to class at night, studied on weekends. I was working 80 hours a week between job and school. I slept 4, maybe 5 hours a night. May 2022. I opened Instagram. Natalie had posted a photo from Bali. White sand, turquoise water, her in a bikini, holding a coconut. Caption: finally prioritizing my mental health #self-care journey. I texted my mother. I thought Natalie couldn't afford to travel. Her response: her friends paid for her. She needed this, Peggy. Don't be jealous. Jealous. I closed my phone, went back to studying. I had an exam in 6 hours and I hadn't slept in 2 days. May 2024. I graduated with my nurse practitioner license. My salary jumped to $92,000 a year. After taxes, about $5,500 a month. I called my parents to tell them. My father answered. Congratulations, sweetheart. We knew you could do it. He paused. Listen, now that you're making NP money, Natalie needs a root canal. $3,200, and therapy costs went up again. Can you make it $2,500 a month starting now? $2,500 a month. My rent was $1,400. Student loans were $850. That left $750 for everything else. Okay, I said. Because what else was I supposed to say? Starting July 2024, I sent $2,500 every single month. September 2024. Natalie posted a photo from Paris, the Eiffel Tower at sunset, champagne in her hand. Caption: healing in the city of love, #grateful. I stared at that photo. Then I looked at my bank account. $732 until my next paycheck. I thought, I paid for that trip. January 2025. The clinic was desperate. 3 nurses quit. We were critically short-staffed. I started picking up extra shifts. No overtime pay this time. I was salaried now. Just more work. Because the kids needed care. I worked 11 days straight, February 4th through February 14th. No days off. My weight dropped 12 pounds in 2 weeks. My blood pressure was 95/60. Dangerously low. I was exhausted. Dizzy. But I kept going. February 13th, Thursday night. I checked my phone before bed. An email from my mother. Subject: exciting news. Body: Natalie met someone. He's wonderful. They're talking engagement. We'll need help with wedding costs. Can you start saving? I stared at that email. Then I set my alarm for 5:30 a.m. and went to sleep. February 14th, Valentine's Day. My 11th shift in a row. I clocked in at 6 a.m. I didn't know it yet, but I had 8.5 hours left before my body gave out. Valentine's Day. Ironic, right? It was my 11th consecutive shift. I was running on fumes. I'd eaten a granola bar for breakfast. No time for lunch. By 11 a.m., I'd already seen 4 patients. Ear infections, flu. 1 possible pneumonia case. Emma Lawson, my colleague, 58 years old, an RN with 30 years under her belt, pulled me aside. Peggy, you look awful. When did you last eat? I'm fine, I said. Just need to finish this shift. She gave me that look. The one that said she didn't believe me. But I had 4 more kids waiting. I didn't have time to stop. 1 p.m. I skipped lunch. Again. By 2:15, I was seeing patient number 7. A 5-year-old girl named Mia. Ear infection. Routine. I reached for my otoscope. My hand was shaking. My vision blurred. I don't remember falling. 1 second I was standing. The next I was on the floor. I heard Mia screaming. Miss Peggy fell down. Mommy, Miss Peggy isn't waking up. Her mother's voice panicked. Someone call 911. I tried to move, couldn't. Everything went dark. I woke up, sort of, in the ambulance. 30 seconds, maybe. I heard the paramedic talking. Possible cardiac event, 29-year-old female, severe exhaustion, malnutrition, dehydration. I thought, I'm 29. I'm dying. Then I blacked out again. The next time I woke up, I was in the ICU. Hennepin County Medical Center. ICU room 812. I was hooked up to machines. IV in my arm. Cardiac monitor beeping steadily. A doctor stood at the foot of my bed. Dr. Helen Martinez. Miss Vanis, she said, calm but serious. Your heart stopped briefly. When did you last have a full meal? I opened my mouth. Tried to remember. I don't remember. She made a note on her chart. Your electrolytes are critically low. You're malnourished. Severely dehydrated. How many hours have you been working? 11 days, I whispered. 11 days straight. She looked at me for a long moment. Then she said, You almost died. I closed my eyes. 4 p.m. A nurse came in to ask for my emergency contacts. I gave her my parents' number. Reflex, muscle memory. She stepped out. I heard her on the phone in the hallway. Mr. Vaness, your daughter Peggy is in the ICU. She collapsed at work. My father's voice, distant but clear. Is it serious? We're in the middle of something. Sir, she had a cardiac event. Call us if she's dying, otherwise she'll be fine. She's strong. Click. The nurse came back in. She looked uncomfortable. Your parents, they said they'll call back. I turned my head away. It's fine, I said. But it wasn't fine. They never called back. There was a backup contact in my file. My grandfather, Philip Van S. The hospital called him at 4:15. He arrived at 5:30. I heard his voice before I saw him. Shaking. Scared. Peggy. Oh my God, what happened? He sat beside my bed. Took my hand. His hands were trembling. Emma Lawson came in after her shift. She stayed. Talked to my grandfather. She worked 11 days straight. Emma told him quietly. No breaks. She collapsed mid-shift. We've been worried about her for months. My grandfather looked at me, then at Emma. Where are her parents? Emma hesitated. They were notified. They chose not to come. The room went very quiet. At 8 p.m., my grandfather called my parents. I could hear his side of the conversation. Your daughter is in the ICU. Why aren't you here? My mother's voice, tinny through the phone. Dad, she'll be fine. She's always been the strong one. We'll visit tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. I woke up Saturday morning to the beeping of machines and my grandfather's hand holding mine. My parents? They were 12 miles away. They never came. I woke up weak. Disoriented. My phone was on the bedside table. I reached for it. 74 missed calls. I blinked. Counted again. 74. My grandfather saw my face. Don't answer yet, he said. Rest first. But I couldn't stop staring at the screen. 31 calls from Mom, 23 from Dad, 20 from Natalie. All between Friday 10 p.m. and Sunday 8 a.m. 36 hours. 18 voicemails. I opened the first text. I put the phone on speaker. Listened. Voicemail 1. Mom. Friday, 10:15 p.m. Peggy, call me back. It's important. Not. Are you okay? Not. We heard you collapsed. Just. It's important. Voicemail 5. Dad. Saturday, 1 a.m. Peggy, this isn't funny. Pick up the phone. Voicemail 9. Natalie. Saturday, 6:30 a.m. Seriously? You're ignoring us. I need this, Peggy. Voicemail 14. Mom. Saturday, 2 p.m. Fine, don't answer. But your sister's wedding is on the line. Call us. I stopped the playback. My grandfather was staring at the phone. They didn't ask if you were alive, he said quietly. No, I said. They didn't. I scrolled to the last text. The text was from my father. Sunday, 7:45 a.m. I read it out loud. We need you. Answer immediately. Natalie's venue requires $8,500 deposit by Monday or we lose it. This is her day. Don't ruin it. Call now. $8,500. Not. Are you alive? Not. We're sorry we didn't come. Just send money. Now. I set the phone down. My grandfather looked like he'd been punched. They called you 74 times, he said slowly. For money. Yes, I said. I didn't cry. I just felt empty. 10 a.m. Sunday. My phone rang again. This time it was the nurse's station. My mother was calling the hospital demanding to speak to me. Emma Lawson answered. I could hear her voice from my room. I'm her mother. Put her on the phone. Emma, calm and firm. She's not taking calls. Doctor's orders. This is ridiculous. We're family. Emma's voice went cold. Family would have visited. She hung up. She came into my room a minute later. I noted in your chart that you're requesting no contact with your parents. Is that correct? I looked at her, then at my grandfather. Yes, I said. My grandfather squeezed my hand. You don't owe them anything. At 11 a.m., I opened Instagram. I saw a new tag. The post was from Natalie. Posted Sunday, 11:03 a.m. I was still in the ICU, still hooked to machines. The photo showed my parents, Natalie, her fiancé, aunts, uncles, 9 people, at Minnehaha Park, picnic tables, sunshine. Everyone smiling. The caption, Family Day without the drama. So grateful for these people who actually show up. #blessed, #family first, #Sunday vibes. Everyone was tagged. Everyone except me. I zoomed in on the photo. My mother was laughing. My father was grilling. Natalie had her arms around her fiancé. The caption said it again. Without the drama. I was the drama. I scrolled through the comments. You deserve this so much. Beautiful family. Then, buried halfway down. Where's Peggy? Natalie's reply. She's busy with work stuff. You know how she is. Busy with work stuff. I was in the ICU. My heart had stopped, and she told people I was busy with work stuff. I took a screenshot. My grandfather saw my screen. Is that my family? I said quietly. Having a wonderful day. Without the drama. I paused. Without me. I turned off my phone. I didn't cry. I just stared at the ceiling. My grandfather sat beside me, furious. They're monsters, he said. No, I said. They're just done with me. I took a breath. And I'm done with them. Noon. I asked Emma to keep my parents blocked from calling. She agreed. 2 p.m. My grandfather pulled a chair close. What do you want to do? He asked. I looked at him. I want them to see what they've done, I said. All of it. In front of everyone. He nodded slowly. When's the engagement party? Next Saturday, I said. February 22nd. My grandfather leaned forward. I've been silent too long, he said. I let them isolate me. Tell me you were too busy to visit, I should have known. You didn't know because I hid it, I said. I was ashamed. You have nothing to be ashamed of. They do. He paused. I'll handle this. At the party. Grandpa. They isolated me from you. Threatened me. Lied to me. His voice was shaking. They're going to hate me after this. They already isolated you, I said. What's left to lose? He smiled. Sad, but determined. Nothing, but they have everything to lose. I reached for his hand. I'll need evidence, he said. Do you have records? I nodded. Every single transaction. And that's when we started building the case. My grandfather told me everything that night. For 5 years, my parents had been cutting him off from me. They told me you were too busy, he said. New job, grad school. I believed them. I called you, I said. You never answered. He looked stricken. They changed my phone in 2020, said the old one was broken, gave me a new number. He paused. I thought you had my new number. I kept waiting for you to call. I felt sick. They blocked my number? I didn't know. Not until now. They'd isolated him. Deliberately. Systematically. And they'd told him if he interfered, they'd put him in a nursing home. He'd been terrified. And silent. 2 years ago, my grandfather said, I had a fall. Nothing serious. Bruised my hip. He looked down at his hands. Your father said, Dad, you're getting old. Falls are serious. Maybe assisted living is safer. And? I asked. I said I wanted to stay in my house. I'm fine. He took a breath. Your mother said, then don't stress us out. We have enough with Natalie. The implication was clear. Behave, or we'll force you into a home. I was a coward, my grandfather said quietly. I chose my house over fighting for you. You didn't know what they were doing to me. I do now. He looked at me. And I'm not staying quiet anymore. For the first time in years, I wasn't alone. That afternoon, Emma Lawson sat with us. She'd worked with me for 6 years. She'd seen things. Peggy never took vacation, Emma said to my grandfather. Not once in 6 years. 0 PTO used. Why? He asked. She said she couldn't afford it. Emma looked at me. Then I saw her eating vending machine crackers for lunch. For months. I looked away, embarrassed. I asked once if you were okay, Emma said gently. You said, family needs me. I didn't push. I should have. My grandfather shook his head. This isn't your fault? Emma's voice went quiet. I lost my daughter to an abusive relationship 10 years ago. I see the same pattern here. My grandfather stared at her. You think? Financial abuse is abuse, Emma said. The room went silent. Emma pulled out her phone. If you're going to do this, she said, you'll need proof. Bank statements, texts, everything. I have Venmo history, I said. 7 years. Medical records? Emma asked. I can compile a summary, HIPAA compliant. Show the collapse was from overwork. My grandfather looked between us. And the Instagram posts? I pulled out my phone, opened a folder. I've been screenshotting for a year. I didn't know why. Now I do. Emma nodded. We'll present it at the party. Public. Witnesses. My grandfather took a breath. They're going to hate me. They already isolated you, I said again. What's left to lose? He smiled, grim. Nothing. But they have everything to lose. We had 6 days. Over the next 3 days, my grandfather stayed with me in the hospital. He slept in the chair. Brought me soup he'd made at home. We talked for hours. I told him about nursing school, about the kids at the clinic I loved, about the career I'd worked so hard for. He told me about my grandmother. She'd passed in 2018. You didn't come to her funeral, he said quietly. I wanted to. Mom said I was too busy with school, that Grandma would understand. He closed his eyes. She asked for you, at the end. I started crying then, for the first time. I'm so sorry, I whispered. It's not your fault, he said. They kept us apart. He held my hand. Your grandma would be so proud of you, he said, and so furious at them. I wish she was here. She is, he said, and she'd want you to fight back. For the first time in 7 years, I wasn't alone, and in 6 days, the truth would detonate. I was discharged Monday afternoon, too weak to go back to work, but stable enough to go home. Home, for now, meant my grandfather's guest room in St. Paul. Monday evening, we sat at his kitchen table. Emma came over after her shift. I opened my laptop, logged into Venmo. "Okay," I said. "Here we go." "How far back?" my grandfather asked. "July 2019, 84 months. Emma leaned in. "Jesus." I scrolled. 84 transactions. Every single month, like clockwork. $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, $2,500. Each one had a note. For Mom and Dad. Natalie therapy. Family emergency. Love you guys. My grandfather stared at the screen, adding numbers in his head. That's almost 160,000. Just on this app? I used wire transfers too, I said quietly. Another 109,000. Emma's voice was barely a whisper. "Peggy, that's $267,000. I nodded. The numbers didn't lie. Emma's niece, Jessica, 24, tech-savvy, came over Tuesday night. "Okay," she said, opening Natalie's Instagram on her laptop. "Let's see what we're working with." She scrolled. Bali, March 2024. Paris, September 2024. Turks and Caicos, December 2024. Napa Valley, Miami, Scottsdale. 23 travel posts between 2022 and 2025. "Does she know you can see this?" Jessica asked. "She blocked me in 2023, I said. "She doesn't know I have a Finsta." Jessica started screenshotting. Every post, every caption, every location tag. "Average trip cost," she muttered, calculating, 3 to 8,000. Total estimated $85,000 in travel. She looked up. "On disability benefits?" "Apparently," I said. Jessica pulled up a post from September 2024. Paris, the Eiffel Tower, Champagne. Caption: "Healing in the City of Love. Therapy comes in many forms." Wednesday morning, my grandfather called Natalie's therapist's office. He put it on speaker. "Healing Path Therapy, how can I help you?" "Hi, I'm calling to verify some billing for Natalie Van Ness." One moment. Typing sounds. Natalie Van Ness. She had 12 sessions in 2022, 8 in 2023. None since June 2023. My grandfather's face went hard. "And the cost per session?" $180. "We don't offer 250 sessions." He looked at the invoice Natalie had emailed me. It said $250, twice a week. "Thank you," he said, and hung up. He turned to me. "She stopped going in June 2023. But she kept sending you invoices for another year and a half." I pulled up the emails. 16 fake invoices. She'd claimed $2,400 a month in therapy costs. She'd been pocketing it. $38,000. I felt numb. Thursday, my grandfather called Natalie's car insurance company. "Policy for Natalie Van Ness, Honda Civic. Can you confirm coverage dates?" "Let me check." Policy was active March 2021 through August 2021, canceled August 15th. Canceled? Yes. She switched providers. We refunded the unused premium to the account holder. Who received the refund? Natalie Van Ness. My grandfather thanked her and hung up. He looked at me. "You paid for 4 years of insurance, $3,200 a year, $12,800 total. She was only insured for 5 months, and she pocketed the $11,000 refund." I did the math. $11,000 in insurance refunds, $38,000 in fake therapy, $49,000 in outright theft. She'd been stealing from me for years. Friday evening, Jessica came back with a laptop and a projector. I made slides, she said. 3 sections. The money, the lies, the truth. She pulled it up on the screen. Slide 1. The money. Venmo. $158,400 wire transfers. $109,200. Total. $267,600. Slide 2. The lies left side, Natalie's Instagram. Bali. Healing journey. Right side, my Venmo payment. Same week. $2,500. Note, therapy. Slide 3. The truth. Left side, Natalie's text. I'm too sick to work. Right side, Instagram, Paris, champagne brunch. Slide 4. Well, Peggy. My ICU photo. Hooked to machines. Caption. February 14th, 2026. They never came. My grandfather stared at the slides. This is devastating. Good, I said. Jessica saved everything to a USB drive. My grandfather rehearsed his speech. Tomorrow, at 6 p.m., the truth would come out. Saturday morning, the day of the party. Emma, my grandfather, and I sat in his living room. Are you sure you want to do this? Emma asked. I looked at her. They called me the drama, I said. I'm going to show them what drama really looks like. My grandfather took the USB drive. Once I do this, there's no going back. Good, I said. I don't want to go back. He nodded. I wouldn't be going to the party. I was still too weak. But I'd be home, watching the family group chat. I handed him the drive. Don't hold back, I said. He smiled. I won't. We had 84 transactions, 23 Instagram posts, 16 forged invoices, and 1 truth. I'd been their ATM for 7 years. Tonight, at my sister's perfect party, the receipts would speak louder than any of their lies ever could. The Sage, a rooftop venue on the 12th floor in downtown Minneapolis. String lights, white roses, a champagne bar. The venue cost $17,000. The deposit alone was $8,500. I'd paid for it, from my hospital bed. Guests started arriving at 6. 62 people. Family. Natalie's friends. Her fiancé, Ryan's family. Everyone dressed up. Everyone smiling. Natalie posted an Instagram story at 6:15. The party of my dreams, so blessed. Location tagged. The Sage. I saw it from home. I didn't comment. My parents greeted guests at the door. My mother, radiant. My father, proud. Thank you so much for coming, my mother said to every arrival. This is such a special night. Aunt Linda pulled my mother aside. Where's Peggy? I thought she'd be here. My mother waved a hand. Oh, you know Peggy. Always busy with work. She's very dedicated. Translation. We don't care enough to tell you she almost died. The family group chat lit up. Aunt Carol. Beautiful party. Where's Peggy? My mother replied. Working. You know how she is. I read it from my grandfather's couch. Working. I'd been in the ICU. I turned off my phone. Natalie floated through the party, arm in arm with her fiancé, Ryan. Ryan was a high school teacher, made $52,000 a year. Decent guy. He'd notice things. Small things. Natalie shopped at Gucci, but her parents claimed they were on a tight budget. Natalie traveled constantly, but she claimed she couldn't afford rent. He'd asked her about it once. Babe, where was your sister last weekend? Natalie had waved him off. She's going through stuff, don't worry about it. Ryan's parents, upper middle class proper, had flown in from Boston for the party. They mingled, smiled. But Ryan's mother whispered to his father, something feels off about this family. Ryan had no idea how right she was. At 7:30, my grandfather walked in. My mother saw him first. Her smile faltered. Dad, what a surprise. My grandfather's face was calm, cold. I wouldn't miss this. My father stepped forward, nervous. We didn't think you'd want to come. It's a long drive from Florida. My grandfather smiled. I've been in St. Paul the whole time, 20 minutes away. My parents went pale. They'd told everyone, told him, that he'd moved to Florida. He was standing right there, in Minnesota. Natalie whispered to Ryan, "Why is Grandpa here? Mom said he moved to Florida." Ryan looked confused. "He's right there, in Minnesota." The MC, a friend of Natalie's, tapped the microphone. "All right, everyone, let's hear from the parents of the bride-to-be." Applause. My father went first. 3-minute speech about our precious Natalie and how she'd overcome so much. My mother went second. 4-minute speech about our baby girl, so strong, so brave. Neither of them mentioned me. Not once. The MC smiled. "Any other family members want to say a few words?" Silence. Then my grandfather stood. "I do." The room went quiet. It was 8 p.m., and everything was about to shatter. My grandfather walked to the front of the room, calm, steady. He connected his iPad to the venue's screen. The projector lit up. "Thank you for letting me speak," he said. "I'm Philip Van Ness, Natalie and Peggy's grandfather." A few guests murmured. "Who's Peggy?" My grandfather nodded. "Exactly. Who is Peggy? Let me tell you." He tapped the iPad. The first slide appeared. A photo of me, in the ICU, hooked to machines, eyes closed. The room went silent. "This is Peggy," my grandfather said. "1 week ago, in intensive care." Natalie's face went white. My grandfather advanced the slide. "Peggy is 29 years old, a pediatric nurse practitioner. For 7 years, she sent money home. Let me show you how much." Slide 2. Venmo history. The screen filled with transaction after transaction. Scrolling. Endless. $1,200, $1,500, $1,800, $2,500. Month after month after month. Total. $158,400. Slide 3. Wire transfers, bank statements. Account numbers redacted. Total. $109,200. Slide 4. Grand total $267,600. Breakdown. Monthly support $210,000. Natalie's therapy $38,000. Natalie's car/insurance $19,600. Gasps rippled through the room. Aunt Linda's voice, loud. $267,000? My grandfather nodded. "Where did that money go?" someone asked. My grandfather smiled. Grim. "Good question. Let me show you." He tapped the screen again. Slide 5, March 2024. Left side, Natalie's Instagram, Bali, white sand, turquoise water. Healing journey. Right side, my Venmo payment, same week, $2,500. Note, for Natalie's therapy. Slide 6, September 2024. Left side, Natalie in Paris, Eiffel Tower, Champagne. Healing in the City of Love. Right side, my Venmo, $2,500. Note, family emergency. Slide 7, December 2024. Left side, Natalie in Turks and Caicos, bikini, cocktail, self-care. Right side, me, working a Christmas shift, hospital badge visible. The room erupted. Wait, she was traveling while claiming she couldn't work? Natalie stood, shaking. Those trips were gifts from friends. My grandfather's voice cut through. Sit. Down. Ryan, her fiancé, turned to her. His voice was loud enough for the room to hear. You told me you couldn't afford to split rent. Natalie sat, tears streaming. My grandfather's voice softened, but only slightly. February 14th. Peggy collapsed at work. Cardiac arrest. A 5-year-old patient watched her fall. Gasps. The hospital called her parents. He paused. They said, "Call us if she's dying. Otherwise, she'll be fine." Slide 8. Hospital Records. A HIPAA-compliant summary. Emma had helped compile it. Admit time, 3:45 p.m., February 14th. Diagnosis, cardiac event, exhaustion, severe malnutrition. Emergency contact call log, parents notified 4:03 p.m., declined to visit. Slide 9. 74 missed calls. A screenshot of my call log. 74 calls. February 14th, 10 p.m. through February 16th, 8 a.m. And beneath it, the text from my father. "We need you. Answer immediately. $8,500 deposit due Monday. This is her day. Don't ruin it." The room went dead silent. Aunt Carol was crying. They didn't visit her? My grandfather shook his head. No, but they called 74 times. Not to check on her. To demand money. My mother stood, shaking. That's not. You're twisting. My grandfather's eyes were ice. Am I? He advanced to the next slide. Slide 10. Instagram post. The photo from Sunday, February 16th. 11:03 a.m. My parents, Natalie, everyone at Minnehaha Park. Smiling. Caption, "Family day without the drama." Slide 11. Side by side left, the Instagram post. Timestamp, 11:03 a.m. Right. Me in the ICU. Same timestamp. Photo Emma had taken with my permission. Someone in the crowd whispered, "Oh my God." Ryan stared at Natalie. His voice shook. "You posted that while she was in the hospital?" Natalie was sobbing. "I didn't know." My grandfather's voice was quiet, deadly. "You didn't know because you didn't ask." He pointed at the screen. At the venue around them. "This venue," my grandfather said. $17,000. Peggy's money. He gestured to the champagne bar. The roses. The lights. "This champagne? Her money. These flowers? Her money." Slide 12. The truth. Peggy's total contribution, $267,600. Party cost, $35,000. Natalie's travel, 2022 to 2025, $85,000. What Peggy got: cardiac arrest, $68,000 in debt, isolation. My grandfather's voice cracked. "Peggy couldn't be here tonight. She's home. Recovering. Alone. Because the family she sacrificed everything for abandoned her." He took a breath. "So before we toast this engagement, I want everyone to know you're celebrating with Peggy's money, and she's not even here to see it." The room exploded. Aunt Linda stood furious. "You let your daughter almost die and threw a party?" Ryan turned to Natalie. "You told me your family was helping you. This is..." Natalie was sobbing. "It's not what it looks like." A guest shouted, "It looks exactly like what it is." 15 people walked out. Aunt Carol confronted my father. "You should be ashamed." Ryan's parents pulled him aside. "Ryan, we need to talk, now." My father tried to grab the microphone. Venue staff stepped in. My mother tried to hug Natalie. Natalie pushed her away. Natalie screamed at my grandfather. "You ruined my party." My grandfather looked at her, calm, cold. "No, you ruined your sister's life. I just showed people. Someone in the back had been recording. The whole thing. They posted it to TikTok. By midnight, it had 1.2 million views. Caption: Grandpa exposes family at engagement party with receipts. Top comment: "This man is a legend. Peggy deserves better." The video went viral. Shares: 340,000. Hashtags trending. Hashtag justice for Peggy. Hashtag receipts grandpa. Hashtag family abuse. At home, I saw the notification on my phone. I watched the video. I cried. My grandfather called me at 9 p.m. "Grandpa, I whispered. What did you do? His voice was steady. What I should have done years ago. The party ended at 8:47 p.m., 33 minutes after Grandpa stood up. Natalie locked herself in the bathroom. Ryan left with his parents. My parents stood in an empty room, surrounded by flowers I paid for, facing a truth they could no longer deny. And for the first time in 7 years, I felt free. I woke up to 200 notifications, messages from strangers, Instagram DMs, comments on the TikTok video. I saw the video. I'm so sorry. You deserved better. My family did this to me too. Thank you for speaking up. Your grandpa is a hero. By Sunday morning, the video had 3.8 million views, Reddit threads, 12,000 upvotes on r/raised by narcissists. Strangers were trying to send me money on Venmo. I declined everyone. At 10 a.m., I got a text from an unknown number. Peggy, it's Ryan. Can we talk? Ryan called at noon. Peggy, he said. I had no idea. Natalie told me her family was poor, that she couldn't work because of health issues. And you believed her? I did. Until last night. He paused. I'm calling off the engagement. I froze. What? I can't marry someone who lies like that. Who does that to family? My parents are furious. He took a breath. I sent you $500 on Venmo, for what it's worth. I looked at my phone. The payment was there. Ryan, you don't have to. I do. Keep it. Donate it. Whatever you want. I'm sorry. He hung up. I stared at the payment. Then I donated it to a children's hospital. Natalie kept calling. I blocked her number. Monday morning, my parents showed up at my grandfather's house. I was inside. My grandfather answered the door. My mother was pounding on it. Peggy, open this door! My grandfather opened it, stood in the doorway. She's not talking to you. My father pushed forward. This is your fault. You destroyed this family. My grandfather didn't move. No, you destroyed it. I just made sure everyone saw. My mother screamed through the door. After everything we did for you. I was inside, listening. I walked to the door. Didn't open it. Just spoke through it. You didn't do anything for me. You did everything to me. I paused. And I have receipts. Silence. Then footsteps. They left. My grandfather locked the door. You okay? I nodded. Yeah, I am. Natalie left 23 voicemails. I listened to one. Peggy, please. Ryan left me. Everyone is calling me a monster. I didn't mean for it to be like this. I needed help and you were there and... A long pause, crying. Please call me back. I'm your sister. I deleted the voicemail. Emma came to visit that afternoon. Are you going to talk to her? She asked. What would I even say? Emma nodded. That's your answer. I didn't reply. Not then. Maybe not ever. Wednesday, my grandmother, Rose, 76 years old, my grandfather's wife, sat with me. We have the guest room, she said gently. It's yours, as long as you need. I don't want to be a burden. My grandfather cut me off. You've carried everyone else. Let us carry you for a while. I moved in that afternoon. The guest room had a window overlooking the garden. Sunlight, quiet. My grandmother cooked. My grandfather tended his vegetables. I helped set the table. Simple, peaceful. No demands. No guilt. At dinner that night, I started crying. I forgot what this feels like. My grandmother took my hand. What, sweetheart? Family. Thursday, I met with a lawyer, Catherine Morris, a friend of Emma's. Free consultation. You have grounds for a financial exploitation case, Catherine said, but it's messy, long, painful. I don't want the money back, I said. I just want them to leave me alone. Catherine nodded. Then we send a cease and desist. No contact. If they violate, we file for a restraining order. I signed the letter. February 27th. It was sent to my parents and Natalie. Terms: no contact via phone, email, social media, or in person. Violation equals legal action. My hand shook as I signed. Is it wrong that I feel guilty? Catherine looked at me. That's what they conditioned you to feel. It'll pass. In 1 week, I lost a family and gained one. Ryan called off the engagement. My parents became strangers. Natalie's perfect life crumbled. And me? I moved into my grandparents' guest room, ate homemade soup, and started learning what unconditional love actually feels like. 3 months later, I went back to work. Part-time, 32 hours a week. I started therapy, twice a week. Real therapy. For me. Ironically, I was finally getting the help Natalie had pretended to need. My therapist asked, "How do you feel about what happened?" "Lighter," I said, "and guilty about feeling lighter." She smiled. "That guilt is their voice, not yours." I opened a savings account. For the first time in 7 years. In 3 months, I'd saved $4,200. The money just stayed. I laughed when I checked my balance. I forgot money could do that. I was sleeping 7-8 hours a night. I'd gained 8 pounds. Healthy weight. I felt alive. My parents violated the cease and desist 3 times. March. My mother sent an email. "Peggy, it's been a month. Surely we can talk like adults?" I forwarded it to my lawyer. Didn't reply. April. Natalie texted, "I'm in therapy now. Real therapy. Can we please talk?" I read it. Deleted it. Didn't reply. May. My father showed up at the clinic. Security escorted him out. I held the boundary. No contact. Emma asked me, "Do you think you'll ever talk to them?" "Maybe," I said. "When I'm ready. If I'm ever ready. But not because they demand it." I was healing. On my terms. The video was still viral. 12 million views. I got messages every day. "Your story saved me. I was about to send my parents $10,000 I don't have." I didn't. "I'm 24 and my family treats me like an ATM. Seeing you set boundaries gave me courage. Thank you for speaking up. You're not alone." A support group formed on Reddit. r/family financial abuse. I didn't join, but I knew it existed. Sometimes I replied to messages. "You deserve better. Keep receipts." My grandfather said, "You're helping people." I said, "I didn't want to be a story." He smiled. "You're not a story. You're a survivor." Last week, I was at the clinic. End of shift. A 6-year-old patient looked up at me. "Miss Peggy, are you happy?" I stopped. Thought about it. "You know what?" I smiled. "Yeah, I am." She grinned. "You smile more now." "I do, don't I?" I drove home. Not to a cramped apartment. To my grandparents' house. Dinner was ready. My grandmother had cooked. My grandfather was washing vegetables from the garden. I helped set the table. Simple, peaceful, no demands, no guilt. I sat down, and I breathed. They called me the drama for setting boundaries, for refusing to be an ATM, for surviving. But I'm not the drama. I'm the woman who learned her worth is not measured in dollars sent or sacrifices made. I'm the boundary. And I'm finally free. If you're reading this and you see yourself in my story, keep your receipts. Set your boundaries. You are not selfish for saving yourself. And you are not alone. This channel is about those stories. The ones we're told to keep quiet. The ones that set us free. Subscribe if you want more. Comment if you've been there. And remember, you deserve better.